Okay, so this is a word problem that we actually covered in our notes, but a couple people missed it. So I want to make sure we all have the opportunity to understand it. So there is a scenario that goes with it. It's a girl going to visit the Statue of Liberty. And there's a little scenario here that went with it that's kind of important to go through. She's got a little issue. She gets nosebleeds whenever she's 300 feet above the ground. So she's deciding whether or not she should climb up the Statue of Liberty. She goes 42 feet away from the Statue of Liberty, and we'll draw that in our diagram in a moment. And she looks up at the Statue of Liberty up to the torch in an 82-degree angle. And she's going to use some trig to figure out how tall that Statue of Liberty is. Now, a moment ago, I said that she looks up at the Statue of Liberty. And one thing to keep in mind is that her eyes are 5 feet above the ground. She's looking from where her eyes are. She's not laying on the ground. She's standing while doing it. Okay, so if we go over here and we kind of translate that to this scenario, here is Lindy. Here's the Statue of Liberty. She wants to figure out how tall it is because she's going to climb up and decide if it is if she can handle it with her nosebleed issue. She gets nosebleeds over 300 feet. So from her eye, she's looking directly up at the torch. So I'm just going to draw this line that represents her eyesight there, right, looking up. And then to the Statue of Liberty, she measures it on the ground, but we're just going to bring this straight up and make a line parallel to the ground. That is 42 feet away. So this distance here is 42 feet. And the reason I did that is I want to create a right triangle. So I need this angle to close over here. And this is the 82-degree angle at which she's looking up at the triangle. And then that gives us a nice little right triangle. Okay. And this is the height of the Statue of Liberty. Here we actually refer to using the tangent ratio, and we're still kind of thinking of it in terms of rise and run. The vertical change is the horizontal change. It's the opposite over the adjacent. You may have heard that as well. I'm going to go ahead and just call this thing delta y, right, for the change in y, for the rise, for the height, just so it matches kind of what I have here and some questions we'll see in a moment. So that's what we're going to try to figure out is what that height is. Now, it's not the full height of the Statue of Liberty. By the way, I just drew in a right triangle, which is really important here, or right angle. This gives us a right triangle that allows us to use the tangent ratio. Lindy is looking from her eyes, which are 5 feet above the ground. So this actually we would need to complete, and this extra 5 feet will get it added on to whatever this is to give us our full height of the Statue of Liberty. It's going to be that delta y piece with the 5 piece together to get that height of the Statue of Liberty. Okay, so we'll go ahead and use trig here then to solve for delta y. It's going to be the tangent of the angle, and the tangent of the 82-degree angle is this rise over the run, or the change in y over the change in x, or the opposite side over the adjacent side, whichever way you're thinking of it. It's going to be an unknown over 42. So to solve for our unknown, for our delta y, I'm going to end up multiplying both sides by 42, right? Times 42 and times 42, right? Times all of that. So I'll slide it up just a little bit here. So we end up with 42 times the tangent of 82, and that's going to equal my delta y. And from here, I got to use the calculator. All right, I'm going to check and make sure I'm in the right mode, and I do that by doing the tangent of 45, making sure I get 1. I do. You can also check to make sure you're in degree, depending on what calculator you're in. Times the tangent of 82, and I get 298.8. I'm going to round it to 1 decimal place. So I'm going to record that here, 298.8, and that is my delta y. So we were asked that first. What is that delta y? What is that rise in that right triangle? Well, it's 298.2. Now, the next question is, what is the height of the Statue of Liberty? And it's not this number, because again, if I go to this picture, I just got 298.2 is just this piece. I need to add on 5 to get the full height. So I can just do plus 5, 303.8. So the height of the Statue of Liberty, 303.8 feet. Then the question is, should Lindsay climb the tower if she wants to avoid a nosebleed? Well, if we're going strictly with what is in the scenario of the problem, then the answer should be no, she should not climb it. However, I got to give my 2 cents here. If I'm Lindy and I got the chance to go to the top of the Statue of Liberty, I may have said Eiffel Tower a moment ago, Statue of Liberty, I think she should go. I think she should take some tissues. But according to the math, it's above her threshold, so the answer would be no. Okay, hope that's helpful. Message me anytime with questions.